This might actually be working this time. I don't know what the fuck was going on earlier. Oh my god. I'm going to disassemble my Faraday bed here. Okay, I'm going to go take a quick break because for some reason I had an impossible time getting my webcam working. This guy here, which I have on a tripod now. But just to show you what's going on here, I'm still not interested in showing my face on YouTube. So I might be wearing a balaclava while I do this. Let's see here. Okay, so there's definitely a lot of EMF originating from these spaces up here. There is a large transformer under here, like under that little salad bowl there, and I think there's like a weird water valve above that one. I'm gonna have to take those down, get my salad bowls back, and lock off this tripod here. Okay, so my Faraday bed has gotten a little bit trashed. Like the walls are all getting uneven from abuse and disrepair and poor design. This was a fucking kind of disaster. Anyway, yeah, so I got to take it apart now since I've been evicted. Probably should have done this days ago, but hey, what you gonna do when you are gang stalked a lot of the time, or all of the time, by psychopaths? It's difficult to complete tasks. That's actually seems to be one of their main goals, is completing or preventing any targeted individual from completing any tasks. I was here, I guess it was 2 nights ago, and I was getting ready to move out, and there was this fucking haze in my apartment. Like you'll see, I got that a fan blowing air out of the window constantly, and it's pulling air into the front of the apartment where I spend most of my time, or I'll spin that around and blow air into the bedroom here when I'm sleeping at night. Anyway, I guess I didn't evacuate the air in the apartment quick enough, and I inhaled this mystery haze that was in my apartment from my psychopath chemists, like nanoparticle landlords. I think they're university geniuses, but they're actually just like Nazi experimenter psychopaths. So anyway, turns out that this mist was causing me to have respiration problems a little bit. And I did evacuate the air, and it went away, but it left me with a cold. So I don't know if they dosed me with some like aerosol flu virus or cold, or maybe even COVID. I've probably had COVID before, but I've never had the COVID shot because it's probably like the mark of the beast or something, which is why everyone is fucking out of their minds these days. Hey, I got my laser still attached to this tripod. I wonder if it works. Yeah, no batteries. Okay. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'm going to tear this thing apart. Hello. Okay, so I'm just going to start tearing this thing apart. It's kind of become a mess. I'm missing the bit for this, so I gotta run and find that. So yeah, my plans are always getting screwed up. This was going to be one of the last things I did. But because all the gang stalking activity and being zapped by microwaves all the time, I'm very unorganized and always having trouble completing tasks. Shit always takes 10 times longer than it's supposed to. So I think what I'm going to do is just start pulling these panels off. So this was a big mistake using these raised pins here. I just used these like supersized push pins, but I probably should have used flat tacks, because if you want to add another layer to it, then you got this little 1/2 inch gap, which makes everything uneven. Yeah, so that was a fucking mistake. Let's put these. But these do hold them in pretty good. I mean, they'd be good for some applications. The good thing about them is you can pull them out real easy. But it does make adding another layer pain in the butt. Yeah. So I am not even close to being ready to be evicted from this place. There's still got so much stuff in here. I went to the storage locker where I'm going to put all my junk. Built a couple shelves, but the drill bit failed. Having a batch of bad luck. I was trying to reuse the old screws from a different shelf, but they were kind of old junk, so basically I need more screws, and I gotta take this apart, so I may as well just collect some screws from this Faraday bed frame, and I don't know. Oh, I guess it's a safe in here too. So I really got screwed over at the landlord-tenant board. It's still a complete mystery to me how I could be evicted from this illegal basement apartment that's unregistered with the city. And they seem to be completely uninterested in inspecting this place. Well, I got them to inspect this place twice, but they didn't really do anything like any inspection. They just kind of looked around briefly, wrote the landlords an order that said this place has to be demolished or inspections completed on everything to register it as an apartment. They were supposed to do that by September 3rd. And that never happened, so yeah, I don't know. I thought there would be some sort of justice at the landlord-tenant board. But those people were also very interested in completely ignoring all the evidence that I presented and allowing the landlords to lie in court, lie under oath. It's fucking insane. These landlords should be in jail for perjury, at least. I'll be right back. Yeah, so they should definitely be in jail for perjury. Lying under oath, but somehow they just, anytime I bring something like that up, they just kind of change the subject or ignore it. They tell me I didn't fill out the paperwork properly, so they wouldn't allow me to present that evidence because, I don't know. I think the papers that I uploaded to the landlord-tenant board were much more professional and much more detailed than what the landlords uploaded. That was one of their arguments, is because I didn't have the exact details. It's very strange. Especially seeing how their details were just ridiculous, you know, just all made up bullshit. Nothing that they said made any sense at all. So yeah, this is my Faraday hat, which is just like a tinfoil hat, except it's made with 2 layers between each of these plastic bins. And you can get it down right to your shoulders almost, and you know, you can even put a blanket in here, a little tiny blanket or a t-shirt, lie down, go to sleep, and you don't get that tinfoil noise as much. It's your classic tinfoil hat. As long as they're not zapping you from this direction, and it just bounces around and fries your brain even more. So you got to make sure that rays are coming from that end. Okay, so like I said, everything takes 10 times longer than it's supposed to. I can move this, I got my webcam on a tripod here with a 10-foot USB extension. So, let's see. Oh, hey, that laser just started working. Okay, so all this laminate flooring is stacked in front of electrical wires that are in the wall, and that has actually helped, along with the tin pans. Well, they're actually like a fairly light gauge aluminum. They might be tin. They might be aluminum. I'm not sure. But they're, I think they are aluminum, but these are the best things I've found for a reasonable price, $5 each at Dollarama. And you can basically like triangulate where an electronic weapon is coming from if it's causing you pain by just holding that at different areas around your body. And if the pain goes away, then that's probably the direction that the attack is coming from. And the laminate flooring helped quite a bit. It's super solid. It's supposed to be waterproof and last for a long time. So pretty dense material. I did have it stacked all the way around the bed. But yeah, I've just been kind of building it little by little and destroying it little by little. And then I was listening to a live stream where they were reading a book called, I think it's called Den of Snakes. It's like a gang stalking book. And that guy was saying that building a Faraday bed is a good thing. Building a Faraday cage where you can hide from the race is a good thing, but in a lot of ways it's pointless because the people who attack you just change their array of weapons. It's usually a whole bunch of different little bits in different locations working together, tracking where you move to. So they just adjust things or build new weapons. I mean, the reason I think plenty of people have asked me in comments saying, well, why don't you just leave the place? Why don't you just leave the place? Well, it's because they follow me around and try and get me in car accidents. And then when I stop on the side of the road to park and grab a nap, then they pull up, in their vehicles and zap me with a microwave beam. So, I mean, may as well be at home if I'm going to get zapped by microwaves in my car or at home now. But these laminate flooring pieces are pretty good because they're so dense. If my plans weren't all getting screwed up, I probably would have put these on the inside of the bed and screwed them into the frame and cut them to the right length. But my plans are always changing, getting screwed up. That's what these people like to do. And I found all this on the side of the road one day, a few years ago. There was a huge pile of it. Okay. All right, I'm going to start pulling this apart now. Almost got this top off. So remove all this laminate flooring. Got this old mattress topper here. It's actually not a bad idea for adding a new layer. Here's another nice flat surface to work on. Okay. Yes. Let's pull this part out. So this material here, these are $1.25, $1.50 at Dollarama. They do help, but they're not great. They're not nearly as good as those tin pans I was showing on the wall earlier. They are really easy to work with. You can basically bend them into any shape like origami. Even if you're just like a metal worker, if you work in sheet metal, you know, this is like Play-Doh, man. You can just make shapes with your hands. It's kind of cool. The worst thing about this is actually the sound. I get friggin' tired of hearing that. Probably be using the hammer for hard on the fingers. Well, as usual, this is taking way longer than I thought, and I probably should make some of this shit out of here. So I might just start packing up my truck. Take a load of stuff to storage. Yeah, so like every fucking storage facility, man, these gang stalkers show up. It's because they weaponize homelessness, man. And because storage spaces are kind of like a part of that issue, you know, like if someone gets booted out of their apartment like me, you know, it's pretty easy to just rent a storage locker, move all your stuff there if you need a place to store your stuff temporarily or whatever. But it's like the real estate mobbing thing, you know, man. These people, they attack any way they can, and they're always trying to intimidate you. So they've done this crazy shit to me at all the storage locker facilities that I've rented from. Every place I've had these fucking crazy encounters. These people are such dickheads, man. Half of them are just like psychopath actors that think it's just like, I don't know, some like Hollywood game show or some shit. So what was, I guess it was 2 nights ago, I went to the storage locker. First time I'd been to that locker. And there were 2 guys. Well, there was 1 truck sitting there. And another truck showed up about 10 minutes later after I showed up there. Oh, no, sorry. That was last night. The first time, 2 nights ago, when I got there was 2 cars like parked right in front of my locker. And I said, I'll just wait till you're all done. So I just sat there for 20 minutes and watched these guys basically do nothing, which is usually what gang stalkers do at storage facilities. Something ridiculous or nothing. And so these guys were just, what did they do? Yeah, so while I sat there and watched, the first one guy, he kind of approached me and was intent on walking right up to my window, getting real close. And I said, I'm just going to wait, man. I'm just going to wait till you're done. You know, I don't want to talk to these people that stalk me. It's like non-stop coincidences. Usually if it's a coincidence, then it just means it's a gang stalker, some gang stalker's little plan. So these guys, while I waited there, they put a laptop computer in the bed of their pickup truck, started it up, and it was a dual boot computer because all I could see is that blue screen with the 2 white outline squares on it. So they're probably either booting up some dark web operating system or pretending to be. So you never know if these assholes are just acting like assholes or if they're actually going to kill you. Some of them will probably do both, right? So yeah, he puts this fucking, boots this laptop up in the back, in the bed of his pickup truck. And then him and his buddy get out a large blanket and stretch it out in the bed of the pickup truck. And then they just wandered around and did nothing, talked a little bit. I just sat in my truck and watched them. I don't want to interact with crazy people. And then what did they do? they weren't moving anything in and out of storage. And the one guy carried 2 laundry baskets from his minivan to the pickup truck, to the bed of the pickup truck with the laptop and the blanket spread out in the back. And they stood around for a bit, did a whole lot of nothing, and then we decided to drive away. I really don't give a fuck about these people, but I'm happy to avoid them. Yeah, you love this. This is the most single bed of all time. I had my larger bed on the floor at some point, and then I built this as a shelf. But then I ended up just using it as a bed. I can barely fit on that. I've never actually fallen off. But, yeah. Okay, I guess I'll get this bed out of here. For right now, I'm just going to take out a few screws because I need them for another project, and I can't find my screw box right now. I think I even put this bed together with less screws than I should have. I can't even get a pile of screws in this one. So I wonder if there's any chance that the Guelph police will be more interested in investigating this house. Now that Zi Kun Wang was arrested for explosives and firearms manufacturing while developing an electronic weapon system at Western University, 100 kilometers away from here. And my landlord is Zunan Wang. And she looks a lot like Zi Kun Wang. Same facial features. And it's not because I'm a racist and think that all Asians look alike or something like that. It's because these ones do. Zunan and Zhu Kun look very similar. And, I mean, the other people that were arrested on that investigation, Tony and Frank, those guys look nothing like the Wangs. So it's not some perception thing. It's true. And I guess I'm going to have to take this curtain off too. This fabric is probably not worth buying. It's kind of, it does something, not much. Not worth the price. You're better off buying a pile of solid material. It's probably like something that the Chinese people laugh about when they talk about torturing Americans with their electronic weapons. You know, they're like, oh, we sell them this Faraday material for $80 a sheet. It does nothing. Chinese were, sorry. Third, and dropping spoons. Got lucky spoons. Yeah. So yeah, I've been complaining for at least since about September 2024, maybe December 2024. I'm complaining about EMF radiation, microwave weapons to the Guelph police, thinking that they might do something about it, but they've done absolutely nothing. Even a cell phone tower, you know, like I think one of my earlier videos on this channel shows when I called the Guelph police about how the cell phone tower 300 meters away from here makes that friggin' annoying chirping noise all night long, every night. And they did send a cruiser by, so they obviously know what's happening, but they did fucking nothing about it. It still makes that noise. And I can actually hear it. I can hear it in my bedroom here. The cell phone tower noise. And I've made plenty of recordings where I start with my little audio recorder in the bedroom here. And I got these electronic weapons attacks, and you can hear that repeating beep, 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 beep the cell phone tower makes. You can vaguely hear it. And the recorder actually picks it up. And then I can hop in my car with the recorder going, drive over to the cell phone tower, and it makes the exact same noise except 50 times louder. It's friggin' insane, and no one does anything about it. So like the electronic weapon system that Zikun Lang was developing, or is developing probably, who knows. Now he's in jail, waiting for his bail trial. But the system he was developing is supposed to target drones that are attacking soldiers on the front line. So these microwave blasts that this guy's producing are strong enough to take down an electronic drone. So I'm gonna fuck up a person, point at a person. These fucking crazy Chinese landlords basically built this little unregistered apartment like a torture chamber. Because they're gang stalkers as well as sadists and psychopaths. They're fucking insane. Probably meth heads too, meth dealers, meth cookers. They had the front patio of this place smelling like chemicals last year. And that started the night that fucking I woke up with the power off, and I called the police because when I went into the garage, there was a chemical smell in the garage. And nobody was home upstairs. And the reason there's a chemical smell in the garage is because the oven exhaust fan in the upper apartment vents through the garage and goes out through the sidewall into the garage, and there's this aluminum pipe that runs parallel down the garage door, or down the garage wall, and out the side of the house. So that pipe leaks, and it just fills the garage with this chemical smell that is originating from the stovetop of the apartment upstairs, obviously. And it was like overwhelmingly stinky chemical smell, which is why I called the fire department. And they showed up, and none of them would admit that it smelled like chemicals in there. Even though, like, I could see them. I could see these people react. Like, I've seen it in my apartment, too. I've seen these officers and fire department members, like, kind of give a physical reaction, like they kind of draw back and, like, turn their nose up, you know? Like, oh, that is a disgusting smell. But then they say, no, I don't smell anything. It doesn't smell like chemicals in here. And then during the landlord-tenant board trial, these fucking insane landlords, all they do is try and confuse the facts. So with this, they uploaded a police report from the Guelph police about this incident where I called about a chemical smell. And even though, like, it had a lot of those details, or it had a lack of details, but it had some of the details, like saying I called about a chemical smell. But in their papers for the landlord-tenant board, it said that the girls upstairs called the fire department because they smelled smoke, which, you know, the police report that they were referring to says nothing about the tenants upstairs. Nothing at all. Because they had no involvement in it, except for probably cooking meth on the stovetop and then spilling a bunch of fucking chemicals and having to evacuate the place. So that's probably what happened that night. And the police still have not gone into the upper apartment and investigated. Neither has the city building department. It's fucking insane that everyone just ignores this shit. And the electronic weapons are not just microwaves zapping you to give you cancer, although they are partly that, you know. They're like microwave mind control, evil Nazi scientists, like scanning people's brains, messing with their psychology, reading their thoughts. This shit's not like pseudoscience at all, right? It's all like well documented. There's BCI, brain computer interface technology that's widely used now. And it's like the easiest upgrade to that sort of thing is just making it wireless, you know? They changed it from wired to wireless. And they're scanning people's brains who are completely unaware of it. They are stealing people's thoughts, which allows them to steal people's patents, which are probably the most lucrative thing on the face of the earth. It's patents, which is why they would target a university neighborhood, because there's lots of smart people who are young and too trustworthy or unaware that they would ever be open to attacks from communist terrorists who use microwave weapons and crazy university technology. Just like how Zikun Wang was developing electronic weapons at Western University. And going after government funds for grants for developing systems for the Canadian military. It's so fucking twisted, man. asshole, these terrorist immigrants are fucking developing electronic weapons and covertly testing them on us. While collecting government funds for developing a weapon system that is very slightly different from what they use on their victims in Canada. So this, a lot of the EMF is emitted from the electrical system in this house, which is why the police kicked me out of the garage. The corrupt police kicked me out of the garage because then I'd have access to the electrical panel and I could actually do something to mitigate the electronic weapons. And that's also the reason there's a massive pile of junk in the backyard and I look like white trash because all that stuff was in the garage and they just decided, hey, we're going to move you out of the garage because we think you have no rights and you like to cooperate with these communist terrorist psychopaths. Oh, man. Okay, let's see. What time is it? 5:30, so I'm not going to have much moved out of here. Probably going to have to leave this live stream and make a trip to the locker to get rid of some of this junk. Right here. And I like all these EMF emitting devices are controlled by Wi-Fi. So my psychopath landlords and whoever they grant access to, their gang stalker friends can click buttons on their home computer and change how much EMF is being directed at me. Because I guess it was, I don't know, how long ago? About 3 weeks ago, maybe 4, no, it was longer than that. It was like 2 months ago. I cut the fiber optic connection into this house because my landlord told the police that the fiber optic connection to this house is something she pays for, and it provides Wi-Fi to the Chinese student tenants next door. So the student house next door that they own is using Wi-Fi from this address, which is fucking insane. She thinks she can do anything, man. She's like this crazy Chinese hacker, psychopath bitch. And they had the Rogers Cable was there today. I think they were at the house next door, and they were at the house 3 doors down with that psychopath cab driver, the big pot belly, and the 333 on his personal license plate. But I've been yelling 333 on his license plate so much that he doesn't even park that vehicle there anymore. Maybe he got rid of it. He thought it, maybe it is a bad idea to put cult numbers on my license plate. Yeah, this is it's kind of crazy. So like I posted that video maybe 2 weeks ago where I just showed all those salad bowls covering all the sockets in the ceiling and all the EMF that was emitted around those areas. And how is this? I don't know how that's allowed to happen. Or how people just ignore that shit. The strangest thing. I mean, obviously, like, they can't keep doing that shit forever. But this neighborhood's completely fucking changed recently. Like, this neighborhood used to be just packed with people. And the faces were always changing, right? This is like probably just like murder tourism, man. These people show up here. They zap people with electronic weapons. They smoke meth. It's like a vacation for them. And the population of this neighborhood has dropped so much, and so is the air traffic. So yes, what I'm doing now is kind of ridiculous, taking out single screw so I can put something else together, but yeah, my life is fucking ridiculous because I always have some psychopaths gonna stop me from doing anything productive at all. Let's see if I can find some screws. Yeah, it's been nice to see. So, I got these stainless sheets on the floor. So I actually think there's a lot of construction underneath the floor here, like either heating pipes or coolant pipes, or heating wires and coolant pipes, I mean. Because I've also seen some weird stuff with like non-stop condensation on the floor. Like there was like some cooling activity underneath the floor. This was on a hot, humid day, and it was like, it only happened twice, like 2 different times the whole time I've been here. It's like they cranked up the coolant, and then the floor just starts sweating, man, on a hot day. Like it just, like you have to mop like 3 times a day. So that happened 2 times. Like these humid days where the floor would just be like bleeding water. Yeah, that's smart. And this was my poor excuse for a door, because I'm kind of low on cash. Some old little plywood pieces held together with a couple of cements. I also found with the electric problems in this house, like they have electronics installed upstairs that mess with, I don't know if it's like the phase of the electricity or like varying the different aspects of the electricity, like hertz or something where it's like alternating and it really shouldn't be. And then it makes all the appliances in the house emit EMF and make this loud buzzing noise. That actually mysteriously stopped a couple nights ago. I used to plug in like my toaster oven or my other electronic heater, and it would make this whining noise. And especially when you first turn it on, it would really make a loud whining noise. But that completely stops at different times, and it's completely stopped now. So they've either turned off whatever device is causing that, or they've uninstalled it completely. Where the shit is that? Don't really have the greatest view going on here. Oh well. Probably have some gloves. Pick these sheets up, but what you gonna do? I think this. We need a little more space here. Damn. Okay, so now that I got that layer of tinfoil off here, layer of tin, and then some wood sticks supporting those laminate flooring pieces, and then the stainless sheets on top. So I was pretty sure I was getting zapped from underneath my bed. Like I said, these psychopath communist landlords have basically built a torture chamber here. Okay, maybe I can fit these sheets out the door now. So this is 20 gauge or 18 gauge, I can't remember, but it's pretty thick. It's almost impossible to drill through too, unless you got like a premium brand new drill bit. So that's stainless sheet, still got the sticker on the one side. All right, one more sheet. There we go. Right there. Okay. Hammer? Yeah, actually that's something I should be doing. I've already fucked up that wall, and I made a little video showing how that electrical outlet, just like the area of that electrical outlet, is where a lot of EMF is being emitted from. So there's one of the salad bowls on the ceiling. Let's see. I think this one has a weird valve underneath it. This one has this I wonder if this has been worked on. My landlord does covert break and enters, where they do little renovation projects to fuck with my life. So there was an electronic transformer under here, but it looks like just another thing that's changed. So I'll show you another covert renovation project that they've done when they've broken entered when I leave the house, which is like their favorite thing to do. So I think that little outlet there was likely worked on after I put that bowl up, and I never noticed because I never took it down. That valve in the ceiling there that has a copper pipe that leads all around the ceiling underneath that little piece of molding in the corner. Goes all the way to the other end of the house into the utility room, and then it just is an open-ended pipe, you know. It's just open into the air in the furnace room. And I actually put like a silicone bottle plug in it because it fit perfect, and jammed it in there real tight, but I can still hear it hissing, like there's pressure in it from time to time, not very often, but I sometimes hear that hiss, and I know it's that pipe. So yeah, I don't know what these psychopaths have done. They probably uninstalled whatever transformer was underneath there. I'll get my hammer out in a second, but I think for now, see, this is where the other transformer was, under here. Or the only other one that I know about. There's probably a fuckload of them. That guy's Zikun Wang, a lot of his electronic weapon system, that microwave weapon system, a major component is just a transformer that fills capacitors with electricity and then releases it all at once as a blast of microwaves. And basically, oh, let's take this off first. So that looks the same as it was. Probably because I photoed it so many times that no point in changing it now. I wonder here, is that transformer? I should probably get a light out. I wonder if I have a light on me. Yeah, I do. So that's, I mean, they're going to say this is for the fire alarm system, but that's always been a point of argument. Like, I think this is just some bullshit, right? And that emits a huge amount of EMF radiation. I don't know if I can put my hands on an EMF meter right at the moment, unfortunately. So like I was saying earlier, I got dosed with some haze in this apartment, which gave me a cold or a flu, maybe even COVID, who fucking knows. 2 nights ago. So I've been dripping snot for days. It's finally clearing up. See, you can definitely see why I'm not too inspired to get out my hammer and start bashing more stuff, because it was wired by a psychopath communist terrorist, and I'll probably just end up zapping myself to death. But if I had that electrical panel access before they kicked me out of the garage, I could just flip off the electricity and do what I want. All right, I think I'm going to take a break from this for a little bit. right. I'll be back at some point. Another time here. Okay, let me show you another covert construction project that my landlords did. Hello, hi, I'm back. Hello. All right. So on this wall, one of my problems was where is it here? That reinforcement plate there is likely, see the electrical wire runs behind it, but I also feel like it likely runs through like a rotored hole in that stud and into that plate, which like I don't want to touch it. I don't know why that's there. I don't think it's normal to put in a reinforcement plate behind a drill hole for an electrical line. It's not a load-bearing wall. Doesn't support anything. Not that would make a difference, but it would be an excuse that these people always have excuses for everything. They're fucking right out of their minds now. And the excuses they come up with. Usually sound like they're baked up by some meth head. Like all the stories they were telling about the landlord-tenant board. So there was a lot of EMF being emitted from this vent here. And this helped a lot. Bring up this tin plate and the steel pan. That steel cookie sheet. Yeah, so those are the types of crazy sadist psychopaths that are my landlords. So I got this cough now and then because they fucking got me sick by poisoning my air like 2 nights ago. So now I got this cold going on. Not sure why there's. There's another lure too. Okay, let's see what I can do here. Okay, I got my light. And one of the main issues with the landlord-tenant war is that I shut down the HVAC system because they're poisoning me with it. They have likely cleaned up this vent. Yeah, well, you can see cobwebs right there. Maybe. I don't know what you can see. You look at that cake of dust. Everything's not sealed very well. And this is not the problem end. It's on the other side where the bigger air return is. This is an air return actually, which is insane because that shows that all that dust and shit was circulating through this apartment. And got cobwebs on my webcam now. Is that right side up there? I don't even know. All right, I'm going to see if I can get this camera set up to the other side of the vent. So I had that covered up with a salad bowl. And there's a light fixture under one of those there. Oh, what the fuck is that? Oh, I see. And so that one's a light fixture. That one is an outlet for fire alarm, like a wired fire alarm. But I think that's just like some hacked system too. All those spots emitted large amounts of EMF, so I covered them up and it made things more tolerable around here. So this place is still, there's so much stuff.